obviously a tough loss and a winnable game after the way you guys didn't start well, but you still had chances down the stretch. Those offensive rebounds
that was, I thought, the hugest part. I mean, wish I could have helped DeMar a little bit on the last one. I tried to get a timeout. I was in there too late when I saw the trap coming because I think he had turned his back and I didn't get it in time. Vooch, I thought, did the right thing, driving Love down the lane. We got him going, to the basket, which was good. But I think the thing that really hurt us was the 3 or 4 offensive rebounds that led to baskets when we could have at least given ourselves an opportunity to score at the other end of the floor. And that certainly did not allow us to, have any chance to extend the lead, right, from where it was at. But, we're down 11 to start the fourth. I give the guys credit for fighting their way back, taking a lead in the fourth the way they did. But I think there's a lot we can take from it that I've always said the stuff that we can control, and certainly the blocking out and the rebounding is something we can do a better job with.
Offensively, they really looked to get Butler onto White anytime they could, and then he hits the game winner over him. Is there anything you could have tried to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was going to be a learning experience, in that situation, especially when they're holding it for the last shot. We've got to be able to just run and go trap him, and obviously it's hard to get that into the guys at that moment in time. But I think as guys gain a little bit more experience just going there. Because, right, if you do go at him with 3-4 seconds to go on the clock, you're generally going to be okay making one rotation. You're not dealing with a full clock. So that next guy's probably got to shoot it. And we just got to be able to go do that there. And he obviously got to a spot, late. I think we can certainly learn something from that. It's his heel. That's the only thing I knew, and that he was not, I think when I came in at the half, or when I came in, they had just told me now that it was his heel, but I didn't get anything more extensive than that.
Bill, you don't see it. Getting back to the start, I mean, obviously you weren't pleased with some of the defensive breakdowns, and then you burned that one time out just 13 seconds into a quarter. You don't see that very often. What was troubling you?
Yeah, I mean, we had really some poor communication, especially in that first quarter, and then certainly starting the second quarter on Love. He's 5 for 5 from 3, and we needed to be better in terms of our communication, switching the screens that we were switching, and whether it was lack of communication, not honoring the call, but we just were not getting it done, on him in those situations, and we had talked about it, coming out of the timeout to start the second quarter. And that was the first possession of the second quarter. That's why the timeout occurred. So, but I give our guys credit. After that happened, we kind of righted ourselves, and I think we ended up, getting right back into the game. I think it was maybe a 1-point game at the half. We did a really good job taking the lead. They kind of got back control of the game. They got up by 11 to start the fourth. We ended up going small to start the fourth and played with Patrick at the 5, and, made us a little bit faster, maybe a little bit more difficult to guard off the dribble. And, we kind of got the lead, and, give them credit. They fought their way back too, and it came down to a shot. But as I look at, the last 6 or 7 possessions, DeMar's turnover, that happens. Vooch had a good drive, but to me, the thing that stands out more than anything is just the rebounding part. That's the thing that really stood out to me is, us securing the lane lines and blocking out.
What did you think of the way Patrick played tonight, particularly given the way he had those 2 quick fouls, but then kind of stayed aggressive even though he got pulled early?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I said, like, I think, like I said this before the game, with younger players, you don't want to play in a wide gap. You know what I mean? With these drastic differences, right? But it was, you just said it, it was his aggressiveness, and whether he makes shots or miss shots, just the aggressiveness of it, and he's clearly on Thursday night was not as aggressive as he was tonight, and we just got to get him to be consistent doing that, and he's got to own that, because when he does do that, he's obviously does what he did tonight, and is a huge boost to our team. And I thought Iowa had a really, really good shooting night against Miami on Thursday. Clearly he didn't have the same shooting night. That's okay though, but he was in the game, competing. He was trying to get to the rim. He was defending. And I think you just want to stay away from those large gaps of who are we getting night to night? You know what I mean? And I think if Patrick can really control that force that you're talking about and that aggressiveness, that's all we need consistently from him. And I think he's capable of doing that.